Well, thank you for joining us for Higher Realm Channeling. Now give us a moment to step aside and let our higher selves come through to talk tonight. Welcome, my children. Tonight is a topic we have talked about before, but we believe that in this time of change on your planet, it is important to hear this once again. The topic this evening is that of compassion. Compassion for yourself, obviously, we will discuss that as well, but compassion for those that are different than you. At this moment in time, there seems to be much chaos happening on your planet. We see this, we know, we understand. And we understand that sometimes it is very easy for you within the game to say, this I can like, this I can have compassion for, and this I cannot. It is imperative that you see all as one, that you understand that compassion is not just for those that think like you. It is not just for those that behave like you. Compassion is not just for those that are like you. True compassion is for all beings. True compassion is for people and beings that are different than you. Those that hold different political opinions, those that look different, those that eat things differently, those that live in different continents or different countries or have different religious beliefs or culture. Too often, you look around and you resonate with those that appear to be like you. We understand this dynamic on your planet. We understand how this functions for you. It is easier to connect with someone who seems like you, someone who thinks like you, someone who you resonate with. Yet, all is one. So even those that you do not like, even those that you do not agree with, even those that you may be interested in having a fervent argument with, we ask that you look beyond the surface, that you see their soul, that you see the beauty inside of them, that you understand that often it is just because their mind is closed. It is just because they cannot see beyond their own nose. It is just because they have blinders on that they believe that they are right and you are wrong. I ask you not to do that. Do not believe that you are right and they are wrong. Do not believe that you have all the answers and they just need to wake up. See beyond the behavior. See to the core of who they are. Have compassion for their ignorance. Have compassion for their stubbornness. Have compassion for their staidness. See beyond all of that. Understand that they are children. Understand that they are not open, and yet you can hold a space of compassion for who they are. For they believe they are right. They believe that their way is the only way. They believe that what they've been taught or what they've learned or what they've agreed to is all that matters. See them as children. See them as beings that at their core are also source. It has been covered up with life. It has been covered up with culture, with opinions, with religion. They cannot see beyond what they've been taught or what they have grasped onto. In this time on your planet, there is fear. we feel this fear. There is fear that they are wrong and we are right. There is fear about war. There is fear about those beings, those people. We ask for you to step back over that low wall we have discussed before. Be an observer of the behavior. Do not get caught into that behavior, in the argument, in the fervor, in the hatred. There is no need for that. As you are growing and evolving, as you are moving and seeing, you can look back and see them with love and compassion rather than disdain. True, you may not like the behavior. Their behaviors may be harming or hurting someone else, which is not good. Please hear us. We do not condone that. We do not say that war is good. We do not say that this is necessary or that is necessary for learning. It is not. All we ask that you do is that you see beyond the behavior. You see down into the core of the being, that you see the love inside of them, source inside of them, and you have compassion for them, that they do not see that in themselves. And this is when we bring this back to you. Do not be so harsh on yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. Do not be so hard on yourself. No one can run a perfect life. All have made mistakes. All have done things they wish they could take back, or said things they wish they didn't say. Have compassion on yourself. That is the surface. That is the surface. Look beyond the surface to the source that lives within you, to the love that lives within you, to that part, that spark, that being that you really are, beyond your ego, who wants to continually tell you you're not good, you're not right, you can't do it. Move beyond that. Connect with source. Connect with who you are. See and feel that love, and you will never be alone. See and connect and feel that love, and you will know you are taken care of. You will know compassion. Compassion for yourself and compassion for others. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you wish to argue, take a breath. Do this Anukri heart breath that we have taught to you. Do this breath and find that peaceful space within. And from that space, step back and observe the conversation. See the person across from you wagging their finger and saying things that are meant to rile you up. And respond with compassion, with peace, because you can see beyond their ego. You can see beyond their fervor, and you can see the source within them that they have forgotten. Have compassion for their forgetfulness. Have compassion for your own forgetfulness. There is no one that walks on your planet that is perfect. There is no one that walks on your planet that does not make mistakes, I say generally, for there are none. Things occur. Things take place. But look beyond the ego and have compassion for yourself and compassion for the other. See beyond their ego and see that they are struggling. For most people on your planet that wish to insist that they are right and that you are wrong are coming from a space of their ego, of the part of themselves that says, I have to be right or I am not an important being. I have to be right and make you wrong or I look bad. See beyond that. See beyond that to the core of who they are. Understand that that is just the surface. That is how they're acting. That is what they're saying. But that is not who they really are. They have forgotten. They do not remember. If nothing else, have compassion for their forgetfulness. Have compassion because they can't see what you can see. They can't feel and understand that source is inside of them just as you. They can't see and understand that. So much like you would have compassion for a child who does not understand more complex thought, you can see them as a child. In your mind, visualize them as a child trying to prove a point of which they do not understand, of trying to hold an idea of which they do not really grasp. And you do. You see the source within them. You see the love in their core. You see who they really are. And you see that much like a child who has much to learn, they do too. Whether they are open to learning or not is their path, not yours. It is not your job to convince them of that. It is just your job to see them as a child. See them small so they do not intimidate you. Visualize them shrinking if you must, but see them as a child that they truly are on the path. And hold in your heart compassion for their growth, compassion for their ego, for the part of them that won't let go. Compassion for what you see inside of them is what is real. What they are portraying on the outside is just an illusion. Hold the compassion for them on the in, for the child they are. Hold the compassion for yourself as well. See beyond your ego. See beyond what you say or do. See beyond and connect with that, and connect with the all that is. Then you will understand true self-compassion, and by that you can have compassion for those around you that seem so different from you. So we ask that you hold this inside of you, in your heart, that you hold this thought when you talk with someone, and that you see beyond the physical. You see beyond the words they say. You see beyond even the behavior. And you hold the compassion for who they really are. The love, the warmth, the feeling. And when you can do that, you have grown. When you no longer are judging the being by the surface, and you see who they are, and you understand how young they are, you are growing. You are maturing. Be that. Hold that. See that. Every day. Every day. In every moment. Thank you.
Greetings, beloved. This is Orion. When we look at your planet from above at this point in time, we see that there are, as we have said before, great changes taking place. And any time that a human begins to feel a shift or a change, there is a certain amount of fear that arises. We would have you understand that fear itself is simply the fear of loss. You have no real fear of gain. You have no real fear of joy, but you do have a deep fear of loss. When you are listening, whether it be in this country in which we are speaking or in other countries around the world where there may be war or famine or storms or whatever the case may be at that moment, please be aware that what you are seeing, what you are sensing is fear. Fear that something that is important is changing and is therefore going away. It is no longer the same. While the word compassion has been spoken, we would encourage you that as you look at those around you and as you look at yourself in the mirror, yes, compassion is always appropriate, and we would encourage you to go a step beyond just recognizing those yourself and others where you are and where they are into radical acceptance. Radical acceptance simply means that you are beginning to remember that there is nothing wrong anywhere ever. Unconditional acceptance means you recognize that source is always present and that source is always moving through all things, doing what source is going to do. You see, it is your small mind, it is your little self that thinks that source might have made a mistake. This is not possible. If all that is part and parcel source, then everything that is done is part and parcel source. Except if there are things that you feel led to do that might alleviate some of the fear within yourself or within others, so be it. Do those things, but do them with radical acceptance. Do them with the understanding that all is the way it is meant to be right here, right now, and if it was meant to be any different, it would be. Radical acceptance. This means a change within you at deep, deep, deep levels. Many of you in form were taught that there was something you needed to improve on, that there was some area in which you were not enough, that there was some thing that you needed to be all that someone else thought you should be. Please understand, you internalized these beliefs, these teachings, but they are not you. We ask that you look at yourself, dropping all of the stories you have made up about yourself that were taught to you that you accepted at that point in time of lesser consciousness than now, and release them. See them with absolute acceptance that they are and were important for a time for you. They are no longer of value to you. Now, accept all that surrounds you as it is, without deciding if you like it or if you dislike it, if it is right or if it is wrong, if it is good or if it is bad. Simply set those judgments aside. We would say to you, if you could simply go one 24-hour period on your planet, one day on your planet, without judgment of any kind, you would never be the same again. your life would never be the same again. Acceptance is what allows you to step past judgment. Acceptance is what allows you to look at the illusion of an other and believe that there is something wrong. But it is not. It is to see something, it is to see a pattern and accept that pattern as it is, and that will take you past the layer of judgment. And this is, as has been spoken, compassion. Compassion simply means to look at the other as yourself. And if you would look at yourself with unconditional acceptance, then you would look at the others around you, which are truly only source in a different reflection, with acceptance and compassion, because they are all you. They are all part you. They are all source as you are source. Accept. Now, in your country, there is a great deal of fear being generated, not because it's necessary, but because it is an old habit pattern. It is a habit pattern of saying, pick me, no, pick me, no, pick me, as if there was someone else to pick. You are only choosing that which supports source. Boundaries are of no issue. Rules are of no issue. Religions are of no issue. Parties are of no issue. Everything is in the hands of source. Everything is as it is meant to be right here, right now, unchanged. Release the need to change things. Accept them. And also accept they will change. This is a given. Energy flows. Energy shifts. Energy moves from form to form, from manifestation to manifestation. All that you must do in this process is simply accept. Accept yourself. Accept others as yourself. Radical acceptance. All is as it is meant to be. And in this acceptance, you will find peace. You will find compassion. You will find connection in acceptance. Simply breathe, accept, and know all is well. Thank you.
It has been stated that fear is what is happening now. Fear of those that are different, fear of war, fear in politics, fear for your life. That fear is often what you feel and what runs your life. Fear sometimes of saying the wrong thing or being in the wrong place or having the wrong job. There's fear that is keeping you in a cycle, in a loop. And this fear is being fed to you more and more through your social media, through your TVs, through your phones, through your computers. And you are feeling the fear that is being generated on your planet. Many of you are empathic, and you pick up this fear that's almost like a frequency that is arising and running as this time on your planet. As was mentioned, many of these fears are strictly related to the fact that things are changing and that egos do not like things to change. You want things to stay the same, but they will not. So fear is what is being put out. Fear is what you're bringing in. Fear is what you're seeing in the eyes of the other next to you. Fear about what's going to happen here or there or in monetary systems or whatever. What we are addressing and we are asking you or imploring you to do is to go beyond the fear, to choose the love, the compassion, to go beyond what is on the surface, beyond what the children running on the playground are screaming about fire or are yelling about, they took my toy. It is important that you see that and you move beyond and you go down deep inside yourself to that core of source. You step over that low wall and you see it play out in front of you, but you are not sucked in. For when you get sucked into that fear, it is hard to release it. And that fear then comes over yourself. And you worry, you dream, you lose sleep at night thinking of what's coming or what might happen or what I must do to prepare. None of that is needed. We encourage you to breathe, to go back to that Anukri heart breath, to go back to your center, to go back to source, to meditate. And when we say meditate, we mean to be quiet. Whether you call it prayer or meditation, there must be quiet, where you are not hearing, getting, going on trips, seeing, experiencing anything, where all you do is be still. For when you are still is when you connect to source. When you are still, when you are quiet is when you feel that overwhelming joy and sense of love and compassion you are. And that sharing out to the world and seeing that connection of your light to the light of all that are on the planet. That's what we're asking you to do. That's the task at hand that is not easy. We understand that this is difficult. You are being bombarded constantly by fear and thoughts and ideas, and we're asking you to quiet that down, to be still, to be quiet, to go within and connect with that light that you are, that love, that compassion, that source being that is you. And that you allow the chaos that is running on the surface to just be, as was mentioned. Just allow it to be at the moment. There's nothing to do about it. All you must do is find your own still point, your own light that is there, your own peace internally. For when you do that, your life changes. The way you interact with others will change. The way that you see the game playing out will change. The way you view yourself will change. When you move down beyond the layers of society, when you move down beyond the layers of expectations, when you move down to the core of who you actually are, and you find that peace. Just breathe. That Anukri heart breath. Just breathe. And feel that peace inside of you growing. And that compassion for self growing. And knowing that you are in the right place growing. Doing the right thing growing. And accepting, growing and accepting and bringing more peace to your own being, to your own cells, to your own life, allowing the chaos to exist, but knowing that at the depths there is peace, there is love, there is source, there is compassion. And from that centered space, walk out into the world Experience the traffic, the frustration at the store. Feel that as you go out, but hold that knowledge you have inside yourself of that peace, even when things externally seem chaotic, even when all you hear or see is fear. Go back, breathe, find that center space, find that compassion, that love, that light, that knowingness that you are source, that you are all connected to the all that is. And again, from that space, walk out into the world. Hold that light as you walk out into your world, because you will find that is how you make a difference. You make that difference inside yourself, not with words, not with arguments, not with fighting, not with division. You make a difference by holding that space of love. You make a difference by holding that space of compassion for everyone. For everyone. Even those you would consider your enemies. Even those you do not agree with, even those you think are doing harm, you can still see the light inside of them they have forgotten. You can still see the light inside of them that connects them to source that they do not remember. You can remember for them. You can connect and know that it is there. And know that as you shine your light and you connect more with that yourself, those around you will feel that. Those around you will ask, why are you different? How is it possible that you are at peace when all of this is happening? Because you know who you are. Because you know about compassion, about acceptance, about connection. And through that, you will make a difference on your planet. Through that, you will make a difference in your world with your beings that are near you, your family, your friends, those that you see, those you come in contact with. By holding that space, you will influence more than you realize. But you must find that inside yourself first. You must find that space where you know you are love, not just loved, but you are love. You are source. You are all that is. Find that within you, and your life and the lives of those around you will change forever. Move to that still point, that silence, and feel that connection.
As you sit now in the silence into which you were just taken, we would ask that you each take a deep breath. And as you exhale, please begin to remember a time in which you felt completely loved, supported, and safe. And if this takes you a moment, that is fine. But you each have this time in your memory. It is there. Breathe. Find that moment of peace, that moment of support, that moment of unconditional acceptance. Feel this peace, this acceptance flowing through literally every cell of your body. Feel this peace through you, Know it within your mind, within your heart. Feel this peace. Anchor this peace, this sense of safety and security within yourself. Know this peace. We would ask that you practice this for a few moments every day. It matters not whether it is morning, noon, or night, but practice this. When you begin to own this feeling of peace, of acceptance, of security in your mind, you will begin to know when someone or something is trying to pull you into a different state of mind. You see, for in source there is nothing but peace. In source there is nothing but calm and silence and love and acceptance. All else other than this feeling of peace, acceptance, and security is fear. Learn to tell the difference energetically so that you may at any moment return to this place that is your place of peace and acceptance, of compassion and love and support. This is your challenge in this time. It matters not what the movie plays out, what the dream plays out before you. Your ability to return to peace, to return to tranquility, to return to security and safety is your ability. And as you do this, each time you are offered the opportunity to step into fear, you will choose peace. You will choose acceptance. You will choose tranquility. Practice peace. Practice acceptance. You will not always choose this. Sometimes you will choose the other, and that is as it is meant to be. But remember, no matter your choice, you can always choose again, and you can always, at any moment, return to that space within you that is anchored within Source, that is anchored within all that is peace, that is love, that is compassion. You are the divine being that you are. You are the divine being that has never, ever left home. You are the divine being that sees the illusion of Maya, that sees the life of samsara as nothing but a dream, and a dream that all you need to do to move away from is return to that place of peace that is yours. Take your time to practice peace. Smile at that which is not. If there are others, beings, which may be perhaps upsetting you in your memory, or even in your present moment, or in your imagination of the future, simply look at that being, and again, in your mind, simply say, "Thank you, and I bless you, and I choose peace. Thank you, I bless you, and I choose peace." And with that, be at peace.
And so it is.